Hello, we are going to summarize the triangle congruency shortcuts that we've learned. We're just going to go through. There are actually 5 of them. In regular geometry, we are only focusing on 4, but at the end here, I will go through that 5th one. It was at the end of yesterday's video. But our first congruency shortcut is side, side, side. Okay, and then our second one was side, angle, side. And our third one was angle, side, angle. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw triangles, and then we're going to do a congruency statement and mark the triangles with the appropriate picks and angles. The fourth one, is angle, angle, side. Now you sometimes see that as side, angle, angle. That is the same thing. Okay, and then the last one, which was optional, is called HL. Okay, and then let me write that one is optional. So you don't actually have to know that one. This is just extra information. Okay, so let's start going through some pictures. So for side, 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 if I have 2 triangles, and maybe I'll draw this one upside down. Okay, and I'll call this one A, B, C, and then this one D, E, F. So for side, 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 the markings need to be on all of the sides. So if I have this guy's congruent to this one, and then I have AB congruent to ED, and then BC congruent to FD. So these triangles are marked with side, side, side. So these triangles could be proven to be congruent by side, side, side. Now, for the triangle congruency statement, remember, you have to be very careful that you put the letters in the right order. The first triangle can be in any order. I'll just say ABC. And then I want you to try to figure out the matching triangles congruency here. So pause and figure out what this one would be. Okay, so welcome back. You should have started with A here. That is between the 1 dash and the 2 dash. So you would start with E here. Okay, and then I went across the 2, across the 3. So from E, I want to go across the 2 dash, across the 3 dash. So this should be E, D, F. Okay, next one. So side, angle, side. So again, I'm going to draw a couple of triangles. Maybe I'll draw them like this time, so they fit well. Okay, let's say this is X, this is Y, and this is Z, and then this is W, and then this is R and T. Those are just made up letters. So for side, angle, side, I am obviously going to have 2 of the sides marked. So let's start there. So this side is congruent to that side, and then let's say this side is congruent to that side. And the important part here is that this is called an included angle. So the angle that we mark congruent in these pictures needs to literally be attached to the sides. So it has to, the angle is formed by the 2 sides. So here I'm going to have Y would be the marked angle, and here the angle R would be the marked angle. So that I have side, angle, side, and side, angle, side. The angle is literally formed by the 2 sides. Okay, doing a congruency statement. I'll just put it up here since there's not a lot of room in this particular section. So let's say I have triangle X, Y, Z. Okay, again, pause and finish the statement. Okay, welcome back. So X, Y, Z. So X is the one that's connected to the 2 dash but not marked. So I'm going to start with T, and then from X I went across the 2 dash to the 1 dash. So from T I go across the 2 dash to the 1 dash. So T, R, W would be correct. And that's a Z. Okay, angle, side, angle. So again, notice how the letters are ordered. You have 2 angles. Okay, so let's draw a couple of triangles. Maybe I'll make these ones obtuse. And then maybe I'll draw this one sideways. Like that. And let's say this is M, N, O, and P, Q, R. Okay, so in this picture, I'm going to mark 2 of the angles congruent. So I'm going to mark angle M, and let's say that's congruent to angle P. And then I'm going to mark angle N, and let's say that's congruent to angle Q. Okay, so for this particular one, the S is what's called an included side. So the included side would have to be attached to both angles. So notice I have an angle M and an angle N. So the side that I would mark would be the included between those 2 angles. So angle Q and angle P are marked. So QP would be the included side. Okay, so I have angle, side, angle, and angle, side, angle. Okay, my statement. So let's say I start with M, N, O. Okay, and then pause and finish this. Welcome back. So M is marked with the 1 curve. So I would start with P would be corresponding. And then I went to the 2 curve. So from P, the 1 curve, to the 2 curve would be Q, and then finish it off with the R. Okay, next one is angle, angle, side. Okay, so let's say I have my 2 triangles. Maybe I'll turn this one a little bit sideways, like that. Okay, so let's say this is G, H, I, and then J, K, L. Okay, so here again, I'm going to have 2 angles marked congruent. So I'm going to say that angle H is congruent to angle K, and that angle I is congruent to angle J. Okay, so that takes care of the 2 angles. But in this case, notice the side is not between the 2 angles. So this is called a non-included side. Okay, so what that means, I actually have a couple of choices here, because all that means is the side I mark cannot be what's attached to both angles. So I cannot mark HI, I cannot mark KJ. But these other 2, I have a choice between which one I want to do. So maybe I mark GI. So on this picture, I have to mark a particular side. So GI here is attached to the double curve, but not to the single curve. So on this one, I'm going to mark JL. So this is angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. So the side is not attached to both angles. It's only attached to one. Okay, and then doing my triangle statement. So let's say I do G, I, H. Okay, and then pause and finish the statement. Welcome back. So G is not marked, so I'm going to start with L. And then I want to cross the marked side to the double curve. So from L, I'm going to go to J and then K. Okay, the last one here is optional. So before we get to the optional part, I'm also going to include, just really quickly down here, just remember which ones are not congruency shortcuts. So the two that we have talked about are angle, 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 and then angle, side, side. So just remember that angle, 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 if you're given 3 angles that are congruent to 3 other angles, that is not enough information. Okay, also, if you have a non-included angle, angle, side, side, that is not enough information. If you have 2 sides, you need the included angle. So just remember those 2 things do not work. Okay, so this last piece here is optional. So you may stop the video if you'd like to, or I'll just review over HL if you want to hear about it. Okay, so a couple of triangles. HL actually stands for hypotenuse leg. Okay, and then that word hypotenuse really only works if you have a right triangle. So you always need 3 pieces of information. So your 3 pieces of information are a right triangle, and then the hypotenuse congruent, and a leg congruent. So with those 3 pieces of information, you can prove the triangle's congruent. So my pictures need to reflect that. So on my picture, I need to have a right triangle, and then maybe I'll do this one upside down. But it also needs to be a right triangle. So let's say this is A, B, C, and this is D, E, F. Okay, so I have the right triangle piece, and then what I need to mark in the picture is a hypotenuse congruent. Hypotenuse is always across from the right angle, across from the right angle, and then one leg. And it doesn't matter which leg, you just have to have corresponding legs. So I'm going to pick the shorter one just for the heck of it. Okay, so that's hypotenuse leg. Now the strange part is this is actually a special case of AS. So this is the only time when you have angle side side that it actually works as a congruency. That's why they give it a different name. Okay, but our triangle statement, let's say we have ABC. Okay, so pause and finish that. Okay, welcome back. So the right angle is where I started, so I need to start at the right angle here. So A to B, so I will go E to D, and then finish off with the F. Okay, and that's hypotenuse leg, but it is completely optional. All right, good job. See you next time.